Hello? Oh shit. Where the frick is my microphone condom? I lost it. What's up, movie watching maniac? What's up, Dreeby? What's up, Psych? What's up, Enzo? What's up, Bailey? What's up, Playboy? Hey guys. Yo, what's up? Guys, I know I'm streaming a little bit later in the evening. My sleep schedule is still good, but I kind of did fuck up on something earlier this morning. I took like a I took like a multivitamin, and then I took. Why the fuck do I have a hot sauce on my desk? I forgot to put that shit away. I took like a multivitamin, and then I took like a apple cider vinegar gummy, and I took a vitamin B12 gummy because I just thought they tasted good. And then I drank an electrolyte multivitamin thing, and I low-key forgot that shit has vitamins in it because I'm just so used to putting those in my water jugs. And yeah, bruh, when I woke up, I had like a fucking horrible ass headache. Like actually horrible. I deadass overdosed. It was like I was like sitting on my couch. I was like, hold up, I need to fucking sit down. And like I was like, it wasn't like hurting. It was like I was like tired, but not tired. Like I don't know. It was bad. It was low-key bad. And I peed it out. And when I was pissing, bro, I pissed a shit ton of like green. It was like green, and it looked like a highlighter. It was like neon green piss, bro. I was like, what the fuck? Why is my piss like neon green? It literally looked like Mountain Dew. And I look it up, and it's like, bro, I had too much vitamin, especially like vitamin B2 or whatever the fuck. So I low-key had too much of that. So yeah, I would have streamed earlier, but I was kind of just like, bro, like, I got fucked up off the multivitamin, bro. So yeah, I kind of just like laid in bed and took a nap. But yeah. Anyways, what's up, guys? I say that as I'm putting a electrolyte in my thing, but I'm pretty sure this is just potassium and sodium. So yeah, I don't know. Literally off the Flintstone gummies. But yeah, I wanted to start supplement maxing, but low-key, like, I think I did that too much, bro. I got magnesium. I'm gonna take that before bed. Magnesium glycinate or whatever the fuck. And then I got, hey, shout out Honda Civic. Magnesium glycinate, and then I got fuck, what is it called? I got fish oil. Omega-3 fish oil. Apparently that's like really good for like your skin and shit. Isn't potassium heart toxic in large doses, bro? Be careful next time. Damn, is it actually? Will I die? Because I look-y take hella like of that shit. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I need to chill out. Fish oil always disgusting? Really? I use that shit. I put that shit in like a pill. Wait. Lieutenant Speedy wants to join me. Should we do some solos or should we squad up? I like fish oil. I like fish, bro. Fish is good. I don't know. Some people say that they hate fish. Fish is disgusting. It's so weird. It is nasty. But like, bro, like, it literally just tastes like meat. What's up, Ogie? Salmon? Dude, I want to start eating like I did sardines. Those are good, bro. Like people are overreacting. They like open the can, they're like closing their nose, like ugh, like bro, what? That shit is like amazing. Sardines are good as fuck. Vitamin story? Let me see this.
I'm the reminder of when my mom was messing with another guy. You know what I mean? So he hated me. It was dark. He always looked at me
Canned
like,
herring?
like if he could, he would just he would murder me now.
But you were probably ready to take him on. Are you?
No, I was terrified.
Really?
I tried to commit suicide.
Oh.
I tried to OD on a bottle of Theragram M. You know those
What is
vitamins?
that? Those vitamins?
Yeah, I tried to OD on vitamins.
And what'd you get? Just better?
I just fell asleep.
Damn.
What's
Did
up,
you get
Rory?
better?
Oh yeah, my head was like pulsing, and I lucky just went to bed. I took a nap, and I had a weird dream. What was my dream? Oh, I forgot. The new Tyler skin? When they doing Drain Gang? What's up, Isafel? The thing is that like they know Drain Gang exists. They had them on the radio, bro. They had Blade on the radio. On the Fortnite radio back in chapter why am I putting this in here, bro? I don't know. This shit about to look like a cum jug. Did you reactivate your old IG, bro? I see it up. No, bro. I didn't even know that shit was still like I didn't even know that shit was still I thought I deleted it, but I got like a notification someone was trying to log in. I was like, what the fuck? Log into what? And I signed in. I'm like, oh, bro. And I tried deactivating again. It's like, oh, you hit the limit to deactivate. You have to wait a week. I'm like, oh, fuck, whatever. I gotta wait a week to deactivate it. But yeah. Anyways. Blade needs his ego back. Dude, he's like in his 30s, bro. He's just chilling now. Just use it, bro? No. I don't know. I don't know. I like. I should use Instagram more. Actually, Instagram low-key do numbers. But hey, shout out Andrew. But yeah, bro. $30K on IG is insane. Not gonna lie, I think I don't think follower count matters, bro. That shit was 50K when I deactivated it. But I feel like it's I don't know, I think it's like I think follower, I don't know. You have less than 100K followers, I'm not talking to you. Oh, farted. Alright. 6-7 viewers. But yeah. Low-key, like, Instagram Reels actually do numbers, though. It's kind of crazy. And I don't even have a lot of followers on my shit. I'm like, what? How does this shit have, like, 76,000 views? But yeah, bro, I'm not too stressing about that stuff anymore. I should get back to posting, though, just to post. But yeah. What's up, Ogie? And when I swallow, I get this weird popping in my ear. That's weird. You know how like when you have like pressure built up in your like sinus or whatever, or like when you're on a plane or some shit? But I'm swallowing it, I'm swallowing my saliva and it still keeps popping. Your ear's dirty? Okay. Yeah, it's still popping. Also, I like pulled like my masseter muscle, bro. I pulled that shit. And like when I stick my finger in my ear and I open my jaw, I hear like I feel like a muscle like popping against my finger, like it's like wiggling. My sleep schedule? My sleep schedule is still good, bro. Just because it's a stream, I'm literally gonna stream for only like an hour and I'm gonna knock out, bro. How do you know what that muscle is called, bro? Is black pilled? No, I'm not, bro. No, I'm not. What's up, bud? I hate when that happens. I think it's just been like that forever. My sleep schedule is really good. The reason I didn't stream earlier today is because I fucked up my shit. The battle pass. How's your day today? I overdosed on vitamins on accident. And yeah, low-key I like this season. I want to get Homer Simpson. I'm low-key contemplating on buying like a Retroid Pocket 5 or an AYN Thor just so I could like lay in bed and grind the Fortnite battle pass on Fortnite. I want to like get one of those just to like play games in bed. I was looking at the Steam Deck too, but like the Steam Deck is like, it's good price, but it's so big, it's so massive. Download it on your phone. I feel like touchscreen gaming is so like, it doesn't feel practical to do. I feel like it's not meant for it. Unless you get really good at it. But, ROG Ally? But bro, how much is that gonna cost, bro? That shit's like... How much is a ROG Ally? Whenever I see like handheld PCs like that... Oh my god, you fucking suck. A glorified Steam Deck? Yeah, I don't think I'm the target audience for that. Cause those are just like super duper powerful, and people are trying to play like Cyberpunk at fucking max setting, blah 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 on the go. It's like, I don't know. I don't think I wouldn't want to play games like that. I would just want to play like PS2 era games, like emulate, and then maybe some like mobile games and shit. Isaac Abba. What the fuck, bro? Switching accounts. The GPD Win Max 2? Is that fucking... Wait, hold up. Let me recall real quick. Dude. Who... Oh, wait. Oh, this is a real person. I could kill him. I could kill him. If I catch him off guard, I know I could kill him. Whoa! Oh! Yo, that was actually crazy. You see how he thought I was gonna take that head on? Nope, and then I went in here. So that I'm always right hand peeking. Dude, you guys didn't think I had that, huh? Wait, I hear someone crouching. Oh no, that's just right fucking next to me. Yo, what's up? Dude, that was good. Can you add this? It's loading, bro. It's not working. It's not working, bro. Guys, what is a good movie to watch? I want to get Homer Simpson. Anyways, what were we talking about before we had to take out these guys? Watch DN? What's that? The Black Ops 7 campaign? Dude, I saw clips of it. What are they doing? I don't know. Is it any good? I don't want to judge too quickly. Talking about Joe? Who's Joe? Joe Mama. Oh! I just popped my chest by doing that. Oh shit. Shit. Shout out John with the 15 month, yo. Oh, nice.
John
Oh, fuck.
Boom.
You look-y kind of ass at game. I'm literally gonna win. There's literally 7 people left. I have 4 kills. Wait, I have 4 kills. Yeah, that's a lot. Can you imagine? 4 kills. That's a lot. Yeah, it's getting past my bedtime too. You guys know my sleep schedule is actually really good now. I fall asleep before 11. Should I look-y hide up here? Shh. Oh shit. What the fuck? I'm going to Mr. Burns' mansion. See ya. Oh shit. Oh! shit. You see the new prehistoric fish? No? Wait, there's a new one? Wait, shh. What was here? Oh shit. Oh shit. Should I go keyboard and mouse or should I stay on the controller? What do you guys think? If Fort controller? What? Oh shit. Airstrike. Donut strike. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, we gotta go to the circle, bro. Let's go. Alright. Oh, I should go to the power plant. What? Oh shit, they're coming. Jason the Ween is here? Holy shit. Oh shit, we're moving. Hold on. Oh shit, they're coming.
And he has a laser.
Oh shit. Why? Oh shit. He's coming. He's in the bush. Dude, I told you! Let's go, bro. We did it. Yay. Wow, bro. I don't know. I think they did, huh? That gun is crazy. It shoots like 5 guns at once. Damn, bro. That was good. Shout out Miku with a 12 more. Thank you. Oh, should I put this guy on? Holy shit.
Miku just subbed with Prime. W.
What's a good pickaxe? What? What the hell is this? Some of these are crazy. Should we go again or what?
Yeah.
Squad? Should we squad up? Oh, wait. What's up, Yush? How do I claim all these rewards? Wait, 3 to claim. This one. Am I almost at Homer? Let's see. Huh? Let's go again. I would do squad with you guys, but okay, you know what? Let's do squad. Since we won, let's do squad. Sometimes you guys carry me too much, and I end up just running around, and then we just win out of nowhere. I'm just like, damn. We just won. How did we just win? Alright, who else want to join? Does anyone else want to join? Oh, Lieutenant Speedy. Oh, they're already in the game. Oh, yeah. Yep. We do squad fill. And no one wants to play your lame ass. When are you doing a Mafia-thon? Mafia-thon? Is that good? I've never played a Mafia game. The only time I've seen anything about Mafia is that guy shitting himself. Just go solo? Oh dude, this like tag is like scratching my body. Oh. Alright, let's go. So Skellington with a 11 more than you. Oh, dude, yeah, guys, don't take too many multivitamins, bro, or else it's gonna you're gonna what is it? Overdose and get like a really bad headache.
SQ Ellington just subbed with Prime. LeBron called. He wants to collab.
What else is here? That's it. Oh, balls on sticking. Yeah, you could overdose on the vitamin, bro. It could be a little bit too intense, I think. Bush Camp Dad. Oh yeah. What's a good song we should play right now? What am I feeling? Dude, look at this fucking pickaxe, bro. What the fuck? What the hell is this? That's kind of crazy. Let's go to Homer's house and do the emote. I want to do the Easter egg where you sit on the couch. Everyone sit on the couch when we're in there. I'm trying to do that. They do everything but add lights. I feel like it's not even Fortnite's fault. It's whatever the property holder is, the IP holder, whether they decide what they want. They probably tried so hard to get a lightsaber in, aka Disney. But the thing is, doesn't Disney own like a big fucking chunk of Epic Games? So like, what the fuck? Guys, let's sit on the couch. We need all 4 people. Oh, I forgot we're playing with the Phil. Wait. Maybe if we keep pinging at the ground, he'll come. Is he coming? Maybe if I start shooting, he'll think that we're in combat. Help! Damn it. They literally don't even care. TikTok actor? Who is someone that's not a TikTok actor? I want to make sure I don't listen to any more TikTok music or TikTok movies or know any TikTok people. What? Die, bro. This guy just died. Isn't that freaking crazy? Oh, he's here! Come here. Let's go to the couch. Yeah. That's it. That sucks, dude. That was cool. That's it. Yeah, that was good. That was good, bro. What? No loot? No. There was no loot. That was the Easter egg. It played the song for like 3 seconds. Oh, hold up. Why did you copy my profile picture? I didn't copy your profile picture. What do you mean? You know your profile picture is literally a picture of me, right? What are these guys all doing up here? Yeah, I'm at the Old Spice. What flavor? Timber. I was gonna say something. Dude, yeah, I need to massage my masseter muscles. I think I like... Sometimes I'll open my mouth too fast, or like I'll yawn, and I like pull something, and it like rips my ear. And I think I permanently pulled the muscle of my ear, because every time I clench my jaw with my finger in my ear, I feel a bone popping, bro. I fucked my life up. Too much of that Turkish, like, Lux Maxine gum. I think I have TMJ. And it's only on my right side, too. Bro, we're in build mode? I feel like we all got a little bit dislocated jaws though, no? I thought that's normal. When you open your mouth wide, do you feel like the bone coming out? Is that normal? Like by your ears, like it comes out, it pops out? I heard him. Ooh. Boom, bro. Ooh. I haven't had a burger in so long. I want to get a burger though. Cookout? Dude, Cookout, you get how many items of food do you get from Cookout? Can you get like a burger, some fries, a quesadilla, a taco, a goddamn like burrito, all for like $2? I did that once. That shit was crazy. They used to have In-N-Out on DoorDash, but they took it down. Just In-N-Out told them to take it down. You used to be able to order it. If you could order In-N-Out, bro, I would be fucked up. Dude, this game is so fucking dumb. Oh shit. There's no In-N-Out where you live? What's the closest thing that's like In-N-Out that tastes like In-N-Out? Let's mess with this. Yeah, In-N-Out. Oh, is this revolver good? What the fuck? I got you. What the fuck is my pickaxe, bro? It kind of looks like a giant, like, swollen ball sack. Song? Dude, I don't know. Oh shit. Hold up. Would you like some shield? Dude, we're surrounded. Okay, we're gonna do a tunnel. Ready? Alright. You got a trap? No. If I were to get one, what would be the best one to get? Oh shit. Hold up. Aw, shit. Yeah. 2v1. Oh, I could reboot you. Yeah. Oh. Come on. Come on. Ah. Oh shit. What? Wrong one. Come on. Oh, no time. Damn! Damn it! I didn't know we were on build mode. Oh yeah, we're on build mode. Almost forgot. Dude, nice try, guys. What? You see how I was finishing them off though? Dude, stop. Oh shit. Let me go pee. I'll be back. Ugh. Oh fuck. Hello? In the middle of that fight, when I was running in the storm, after the team died, my ping went to like 1,000. It literally went to 1,000 ping and my stream started lagging. I somehow still survived and I killed the Halo Master Chief dude. When he tried pushing me in the storm. Yeah. It went to 1,000 ping. What the fuck? Why did we ping here if my teammates are over there? Playing Fortnite on my phone? Oh shit. They literally pinged over there. It's blow dryers and a fan. What? How did they do this? Dude, that shit is so annoying. Your laptop melting the laundry basket. Dude, that's good.
Hi. Hi.
What? I don't know what material this shirt is made out of, but it's making my nipples really itchy. Is that what polyester does? Nice nipple scratch, bro. Thanks. Yeah, sometimes I get like really sharp, like it feels like needles are being put into my nipple holes. I don't know what that feeling is. Polyester. I like this shirt. It's like literally my favorite shirt. I got rid of the Planet Fitness shirt, guys. Dude, yeah, I should have OD'd on multivitamin. Yeah, bro. I took my multivitamin, thinking it was okay, and then I took my mom's apple cider vinegar gummies that had vitamin B12 in it. I didn't even know they had B12. I just took it, and then I took a vitamin B2 gummy or something because it said it was for energy. I'm like, okay, I'll take that. And then I drank my water that had the little like electrolyte fizz in it, but that also has a shit ton of vitamins too. Then I woke up. Oh shit, 500 ping. And today I just had the most horrible headache. Sitting on the couch like, oh my god. I took a nap. Had a crazy dream. Forgot what the dream was though. And then, yeah. And my pee was green. My pee was like neon green. You're set on vitamins for like the next 3 days. Am I not supposed to take any tomorrow then? Am I good? I just peed it all out, I think. Yeah, I probably shouldn't take any. Dude, Fortnite is The Simpsons now. What the hell? How did it make Fortnite The Simpsons? Vitamin D? Dude, it was raining though. It was cloudy and raining. Dragon Ball? Dude, what the hell? The tip of my banana is peeking out. I'm watching the stream on 6 different smoking laptops. Dude, thanks. What's up, Retro? Let's go. What do you guys think about the Steam machine? Yeah. Hello? My headset died, so I couldn't hear what you guys were saying. What do you guys think about the Steam machine, I said? No online games? I wonder how much it's gonna cost. Yeah, because it's Linux. The heck? Linux-based operating system. I don't know what's gonna happen. Can you start? Yeah, I actually do want to do something like that. Good idea, banana. I should do something. Oh shit, we're building? Wait. What's stopping you, bro? I don't know. Watching YouTube. Alright guys, day in the life. Oh wait, watch this. Dude, this gun... Oh! Dude, can we do no build? This shit is hard. These guys are building too fast. Too hard. Yeah, you got it. Dude. Oh my god, bro. Could have freaking revived, bro. What should I eat tomorrow? Maybe some eggs. Movie watching maniac with a serious
Movie watching
Oh,
maniac.
burger.
Subscribe. Make
A
GTA
burger.
5 montage.
Oh, dude. Oh. My neck is so... It's off. Oh, it's on. I need acupuncture. What does that do? My pillow? No. Do you guys do chin tucks or no? Saw people recommending that. What is this? What does that do? I don't know. Oh shit. What? Yeah, I don't know what those are either. I don't know. Oh shit. People be sleeping on this pistol though. What? Dude, I want that gun. Are we gonna win? Oh shit! Bro. No way. Is that actual speed? Yo. No way. Dude. What's up? Oh shit. Hold up. I need to clutch up. Oh shit. Yeah, yeah. How are you, bro? Dude, I'm good, bro. What's up, Speed? You wanna play with me? Yeah, bro, let's go. What's your username? Dude, I can't believe this is happening. Oh, shit. It fake, bro. Oh. Bro, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Why would you trick me like that? I'm from Cambodia? Oh, what's up, bro? Oh, shit. Oh my god. This is hard. What? Hard, bro, hard. Hard. Alright, one more, I'm getting tired. We can watch some YouTube videos and go to bed. I want to watch a Richard Wolf video. Let's do no build.
Oh my god! Fifi. Thank you for the 27 months.
Nimni0212 has gifted a
The
sub
Steam
with
machine is gonna be
$5.
$900.
Thanks to it Nimni0212 for my sub gift.
Invite me. You're on zero build? Okay, let's do zero build. Am I gonna get a Steam machine? I low-key don't know what I would even use it for, but I just think it's cool. I think it's cool. But low-key, I don't even know. I mean, I have a PC. You know? What would I even use the Steam machine for? 900 confirmed? No, I low-key just lied out of my asshole for no reason. It's because I was bored. Just because I was bored. Low-key, do we really need that many video games? I was thinking about this. I feel like the amount of video games they be pumping out, we don't need those, bro. We do not need all that. The more games, the better. I don't think so. I think they've been releasing too many games. We need to stop all the video games from being created. Arc Raiders? Is that good? Low key, like, yeah. I'm jealous of your Steam library. You have many? No, I don't. I don't have a lot of games. Battlefield 6 needs to go back in the oven. You know what I low-key think? I low-key think Battlefield 4 came out in, which came out in 2013. I don't know. Might be a hot take, but if they just updated that game for like the past 12 years and just kept on supporting it, I feel like that would have been so much more awesome than Battlefield 6. What do you think? I feel like if Call of Duty did something like that, that would be good. But no, they want to drop a new game every year. New game makes more money, yeah, you see? Would you rather unlimited bacon but no games, or games, unlimited games but no games? Probably unlimited bacon. EA loves money. How would gaming be without the profit incentive? What would video games look like? We would have SM2. Oh my god. True, bro. We would have SM2. Counter-Strike Classic and Counter-Strike Legacy got taken down, I think, right? Oh my god. Yeah, there's no real people here, huh? Every game really just is like a... Like, you look at Counter-Strike, that shit is low-key just stock market game. It's just a stock market NFT game. Got one? Damn. But the economy, bro. What about the shareholders, bro? Why didn't you think about them? What about the landlords? Give me this. Okay, we'll rebuke you. That's literally what I'm saying. What about the landlords? Should I open my window? Let it cool down in my room? It's kind of hot. It's kind of really hot. I don't know. Let's drive Homer's car. Oh yeah, it's hot. Let me turn on the fan and open the window and turn on the fan. Oh shit. What's Richard Wolf doing your title? I'm gonna play Fortnite with him tonight. Should I unplug this? Alright, bro. Alright, bro. Invest in a yoga ball? Oh, yeah, I need something like that, bro. This chair actually is like a pain to sit in. Can you say hi to my sister? Her name is Jules. Yo, what's up, Jules? What's up, emo cat? 74? Holy shit. 1974? Bouncing your yoga ball every kill? No. Thank you. What's up, passing? Dude, I need a poop. Oh. Yeah, I was talking about reading book. I don't really know what book I would want to read first. But I did find a lecture I wanted to watch. So I'll probably watch that before bed. What's up, Echo? You love book? You like reading book? What book do you read? I love book. Do you read like the physical book or do you read like the technology book? Physical. I read philosophy. What's your favorite philosophy guy? How philosophical are you? Plato? That's like the OG, no? Who's the OG philosopher? I'm going to my 8-hour VR chat moderation shift now. I'll be back. Alright, have fun, bro. Jesus. No! Dude! Damn! Jakarta, it's about anti-communist mass killings in Indonesia and how it influenced anti-communism around the world. Dude, I'll put that on my list. Hold up, I need to make like a list of that. Of a bunch of shit like that. That's crazy. Damn. Alright, GG. I'm off the game. Let's look into book. You said Jakarta? It's our cry sometimes when The Jakarta method. 2020. This is recent. Washington's anti-communist crusade on the mass murder program that shaped our world in a 2020 political history book. What's up, Leonis? 2020. Support for and complicity in anti-communist mass killings around the world. Estimated 1 million people were killed in an effort to destroy the political left and movements for government reform in the country. What happened to TikTok? I deactivated it. I'm starting fresh. I'm gonna make a new one, but I'm gonna post organically. But yeah. What's up, Leonis? What's up, Microwave? CIA activities in Indonesia. Character AI? What is this? I'm not clicking on that. First time chat with the link, sketchy ass link. I'll open it. No, don't open it. I'm scared. Isn't it so crazy that like in like every single like American movie, media, video game, fictional shit, the CIA is like, well, we're the heroes and all that shit. These motherfuckers are like evil as fuck terrorists of the world, bro. Shit is insane. Like it's literally the opposite. Thinking like it's some like Tom Cruise Mission Impossible shit. It's just dead ass evil. Are you still playing Fortnite? No, I hopped off. What's some other good books? I need to like make like a fucking notepad or some shit. I want to read a Michael Parenti book. What's up, Katze? Yo, when is this AI bubble gonna pop, bro? That's gonna be, bro. What kind of books do you like? I specifically want to get into Marxist theory, but I want it to be a little bit more digestible, because I'm not used to reading. I was watching one of his lectures today. I was watching his shit about Cuba. What were you watching? Oh my god, my fucking... Alright, yeah, CIA is hacking into my computer. My shit is broken. What? Let me find it. Okay. like Richard Wolff because he really, really, really dumps it down for me. But I need to advance. Like it's a class.
Alice, and I'm a member of UUs for a Just Economic Community. We're that small, feisty group that has been working actively for economic justice for well over a decade. Michael Parenti represents a long list of very distinguished and amazing thinkers and activists that we have brought to GA year after year. Michael Parenti is an historian and social scientist.
2004.
Parenti, the author of 18 books about social and political issues. His 19th book, called Super Patriotism, is about to come out within the next month. Some of the books are, you probably know about Democracy for the Few and To Kill a Nation. Michael is the author of those books. He knows history and he knows democracy. And he's been worried about our democracy for the few for a long time, and writing and explaining the underlying structures that have contributed to the erosion of our democracy. His latest book, The Assassination of Julius Caesar, which is going to be out there for sale, was nominated last fall for a Pulitzer Prize. This book tells the compelling story of popular resistance against entrenched power, wealth, and corruption during the late Roman Republic. Sounds eerily familiar, doesn't it? Today, he will bring lessons from history from that time to our current global economy and how citizens and governments alike can help shape a more sustainable world. We are very honored to bring this distinguished writer and thinker to you. Let's give a warm welcome to Michael.
Thank you. I want to thank the Unitarian Universalists for a Just Economic Community for bringing me here today. Those of you who are planning to ask me at the end of this talk, yes, but what do we do about it? Then let me say right now, come work for the Unitarian Universalists for Just Economic Community. It's an organization that fights against economic injustice and for all forms of social justice. They educate, they engage and activate people. Both Unitarian Universalists and even others have been known to be activated by them. And I would encourage you to get involved by joining and by making a contribution. What I'm going to talk about, a subject that really, I'm not going to talk about, there's been some confusion. I couldn't find out what my talk was supposed to be today. I finally just heard what it's supposed to be. But what I'm going to talk about is, I'm going to talk about a subject that really consumes many people. It's the central organizing passion of their life. It's an intoxicant. It's something that's more important than anything else. They will kill for it. I'm going to talk about wealth.
Wingstop.
And I'm going to talk about class. Now, class, you usually can't on the left, the American left, you can't talk about class. You can talk about class like upper middle, upper, lower, you know, a status, a group, an income level, and that sort of thing. What you can't talk about is class as a dynamic, class as a relationship to class power and social power. That's what I want to talk about. Class and wealth. Well, what is wealth? What is wealth? I mean, we're all interested in it, so where does it come from and what is it? Wealth has two basic sources. That's aside from its culturally defined dimensions. First, there's the natural resources of the planet, of the environment. That's the great basic source of wealth: the land, the fruits of the land and the forests, the subterranean resources, the mineral deposits and other rich deposits, the resources from the sea, salt, fish, kelp, the sun's energy. These are all sources, if harnessed and gathered, that become wealth. The second source is human labor. There's really no natural resource that automatically leaps into our mouths, certainly none that automatically leaps into our wallets or pockets. Even food gathering in a very lush, fertile community requires labor, the labor of gathering. Labor, then, is the vital other ingredient, and labor adds use value to resources, making them accessible, making them consumable, and therefore making them marketable. Labor also adds market value. It transforms, for instance, what transforms a useless tree, and a tree is useless. I mean, a tree can be precious, it's beautiful, it's part of our survival, our health and environment, but for the market, it's useless, unless it's on a property that enhances the value of the property. Someone sells you this and says, look, you got this beautiful oak tree here too, you know. Oh yeah, we added $1,000 to the house just for that tree. But generally, what transforms a useless tree into a commodity that you can sell is the labor that goes into harvesting it, transporting it into lumber.
That's like I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you later. I know which one it is.
Lumber itself is another marketable commodity, of course. That's a source of profit. And then that transforming that lumber into furniture, all the labor that goes into that, and all the labor that goes into advertising and selling it and transporting it and bringing it to your house. Where do you want it, lady? And putting it down. All of that makes this, is what gives value to that tree. It's the labor. In food gathering and hunting and even early horticultural societies, there was not much opportunity to accumulate wealth. I mean, if you were a Native American Indian, you might want to own 2, 3 horses. You might even have pride, but you couldn't own 200. You couldn't take care of them all. You wouldn't have any reason for that. There was a rough equality of life in early food gathering and horticultural societies. There was a place for everybody at the fireplace. There was a communal table. If there was abundance, it was shared by all, more or less. I mean, maybe the hunter who killed the buffalo got the first choice cut or something. But everybody, there was food pretty much for everybody. If there was scarcity, if the herds disappeared, if the crops failed, if there was hunger, that too was shared by all. This is what was called primitive communism by some. By late horticultural societies, by the time you develop agriculture and surpluses and such, larger tracts of land are cultivated, towns and settlements, larger concentrations of populations in abundant valleys, trade develops, and wealth accumulates. And we witness a very strange and unfortunate phenomenon. That is, those with a surplus abundance, instead of sharing, become more possessive. Surplus and accumulation stimulates the accumulation impulse. Those with large tracts of land and large herds want still larger tracts and larger herds. And to make sure they can keep them, they hire bands of retainers to protect what they have from the dispossessed, the beginnings of the state and the beginnings of class society. So in advanced horticultural societies, they also do something else. They use force and violence to enlist other people into the quotidian drudgery, into the toil of their plantations, their estates, their mines, and such. These other people are slaves. And the slaves create wealth through their labor by creating all of this stuff and consuming but a bare subsistence of it. Well, so class society, class conflict, these are, as I say, they're forbidden terms in U.S. political culture, even among many who pretend to be on the left. You're not going to hear too much of that. But thinking of class as more than just a sociological category or an income category, as I said, lower middle, upper middle, all that stuff, thinking of class as a dynamic interrelationship having to do with wealth. Class, in that sense, is not just a category or a status, it's a social relationship. There's no such thing as a class in isolation. You can't talk about slaves without talking about slave holders and masters. You can't talk about lords without talking about vassals and serfs. Mm-hmm. You can't talk about corporate bosses without talking about workers and corporate employees. And what distinguishes each of them in each case is their relationship to a third factor. What distinguishes the few who own and the many who work for those who own, what distinguishes them is their relationship to this third factor, which is the means of production. That is, to the wealth, to the state power, to the land, the mines, the mills, the goods, the services. There are those who own things, and there are those who work for those who own things, who have nothing else, so they sell their labor power. That's most of us. That's what we got to do. We got to go find a job or a profession or something like that if we plan to pay the rent, whatever. Now, capital comes in two forms. There's both productive capital, that's the land, the mines, the mills, all that stuff, and then there's the material component of production. I mean, that is the material component of production I just mentioned. And then there's financial capital. The goal of the modern capitalist,
sorry, Richard Wolff,
the modern transnational corporation, the goal of that organization is not productive capital or productivity as such. The goal is financial accumulation. And if maximizing your financial communication means intensifying your productivity, they'll do it. If maximizing your financial accumulation means minimizing productivity, taking certain things out of production, deindustrializing whole areas, buying up all the public assets in Eastern Europe and then just selling off the assets and deindustrializing them and closing them because you don't want their steel industry to compete with yours. You don't want their mining industry to compete with yours. You don't want their agribusiness to compete with their collective farms to compete with your agribusiness. So you buy them up and then you put them out of business, which is what has been happening all over Europe. It's happening today now in Serbia, now that Serbia has the blessings of the free market capitalist democracy. Oh. David Broderick, former president of U.S. Steel, said it very nicely. I heard him once on TV. He said, U.S. Steel is not in the business of making steel. That was very smart. I came to the edge of my seat. I said, is he really going to say it? And you know what? He did. And then he didn't say, it's in the business of making a profit. He didn't say that. He said something better. He said, it's in the business of making the highest possible profit for its shareholders. That's what it's in the business of. That's what U.S. Steel is in the business of. That's what General Motors is. That's what General Electric is. That's what General Dynamics is. That's what all the
literally all of gaming is, bro.
Making sure that those who have shall have yet more.
None of your hobbies are safe, bro.
Possible profit. One of the key instruments for this accumulation process is a convention known as money. I was taught when I was in school that money is a medium of exchange. It's a way we can deal and exchange goods and services. And that has a really nice, neutral sounding ring to it. Money is a medium of exchange. Money can be used for good or bad. You can use money to build a hospital or to bribe an official. You can use money to enhance with scholarships or corrupt or kill or whatever. Actually, on further reflection, I decided that money is not a neutral thing. Money is not an instrument for good or bad. Money itself, by its very nature, historically in a class society, becomes a means of abstracting, mobilizing, and accumulating wealth. Otherwise, they wouldn't have invented it. They wouldn't have put so much stock in it. They wouldn't be going after it so much. In the olden days, when wealth consisted principally of land, crops, herds, furs, silver plates, gold cups, jewelry, and such, you could accumulate just so much, and you can do just so much with it. But abstracted from material wealth, money becomes a very flexible, very powerful, very mobile tool for accumulation. In a world of rich and poor, there's nothing neutral about money. It's the same with technology. When they say technology is just a neutral instrument, you could use it for good, you could use it for bad. That's not true. Technology is developed within the framework of a social structure. Technology is developed by those who own and control technology, who have a lot of money. And they develop technologies of surveillance, they develop technologies of war, they develop technologies of self-promotion, of marketing. That's what they use technology for the most part. Cell phones are very tacky, I think. That's something we don't want to... I was listening to somebody who I consider to be the id of the right wing. You know, let's get Freudian about this. There's the superego that puts the gloss and maintains the hypocritical appearances, and there's the ego that kind of goes out and gets it and tries to justify it and all. And then there's the id, the raw, primitive truth. I was listening to the id of the right wing, Rush Limbaugh. Yeah. And he was saying, it's not a zero-sum game we have here in America. It's not a zero-sum game. When there's more for the big guys at the top, of which he is a multi-millionaire, he doesn't mention that. They never say that. They never come out and say, by the way, I'm one of those fat, greedy pigs that they talk about. He said, when there's more for them, there's also more for us. The pie gets bigger, we all get a bigger slice. It's not zero-sum. A rising tide lifts all boats. Well, you know, there's another saying, a rising tide sinks many boats, drowns many people. In fact, it can be zero-sum, and to some extent it is. And I'll show you in a minute why. Now, before we get any further into the discussion of capitalism, it's at this point that we hear about the entrepreneurial spirit. Well, what about the guy who goes out, he has an idea, and he develops a commodity, and he gets a market, and he hires people, and creates jobs. It's always said in that kind of nostalgic sing-song way, jobs, and makes a contribution to the community. You know, you could, by this time you're getting all moist-eyed, you know. And I always have to say, I'm not talking about those people. I'm not talking about mom-and-pop capitalism, okay? Lenin made the point. 5 million small businesses count for nothing. A few giant cartels count for everything. I'm talking about the people who have the muscle. I'm not talking about the squirrels who are dancing among the elephants and getting stomped out. 400 a week getting stomped out of business, small businesses, with others coming in. Of course, hope beats eternally. I'm talking about the elephants. I'm talking about those who are doing the stomping. I'm talking about the transnational monopoly finance capital reality, not the entrepreneurial mythology. So that's what we're talking about. And for them, it is, to some extent, zero-sum. Great wealth creates great poverty. There's not just an innocent juxtaposition. We always point out that juxtaposition. We always say, isn't it tragic? So much wealth right next to so much poverty here. Isn't this terrible? As if they're just sitting there in embarrassing juxtaposition. No, great wealth causes great poverty. You can't have great wealth unless you have poverty. You
Yeah, it's
can't
like, bro,
have
like,
rich
where the fuck do you think that shit
living
comes
on
from,
these
bro?
big plantations, living a life like that, unless you have impoverished slaves. You can't
just
have the
coexist out of
Lord
nowhere.
born to the manor unless you have the serfs who do all that work for him. And you can't have great transnational corporations unless you have workers who work all their lives living from hand to mouth and who end up with a miserable little pension if they're lucky. Now, the wealthy class doesn't just sit there with the wealth. It translates its wealth into political power, into social control, and into cultural hegemony. In time, the ever-expanding wealth and the ever-expanding appetite for wealth goes abroad. It has to look for other places to carve out natural resources, to exploit even cheaper labor, especially when their own workers start putting all sorts of ridiculous, stupid, wasteful demands on you, like a living wage, a pension fund, vacations, occupational safety, consumer protections, environmental protections. When will it stop? What are they doing? Every dollar spent wasted on stupid things like that is one less dollar in my pocket. So I go to Indonesia. I go to Haiti, where I can pay people not $15 an hour, not $1 an hour, but $1 a day. That's where I go to. So they go abroad. And there, too, it's zero sum. Empire brings great wealth to the investing class.
What's up, Darami?
And great expense for the people of the imperial nation. The process of empire, in case you want to know, the process of empire is what is called imperialism. And imperialism is when the ruling interests of one country expropriate or exploit the land, the labor, the natural resources, the markets, and the capital and technology of another country. That's what imperialism is. So these ruling interests do the same to the people in these other places as they do to people here. The patricians pursue their far-off plunder, and we, the people, are also very much involved in empire in terms of its costs. They get the benefits, and we get the costs. We pay the taxes, and we pay the blood. The empire feeds off the republic. The empire has more power, more grandeur, more scope,
What's up, brother?
more reach, more striking force than ever. It is one of the wonders of human history. And the republic has public hospitals that are closing, public schools that are closing, kids who haven't had one teacher in a term for years but have seen 15 different substitutes in 3 months, schools that don't even have enough textbooks, schools where the roofs are leaking, housing so miserable that we have hundreds of thousands of homeless, beggary all over in an empire that's so ever rich. You're seeing it happen this very year. Dramatic instances of states and cities saying we are going bankrupt. We cannot meet our budgets. We are in a state of crisis. We will have to cut back our human services. And meanwhile, $200 billion being spent over the $402 billion that's being spent on the military budget, over that $200 billion being spent on the war in Iraq. With fat billion-dollar contracts for Halliburton and Bechtel and 70 other U.S. corporations, and also access to a huge a huge trove of oil worth about $3 to $4 trillion. And that's really one of the compelling reasons why the U.S. rulers suddenly feel so compelled to bring democracy
how much have we given to Israel in the past, like,
electricity and running water
2
to
years?
Iraq? First you destroy
Last
the
year.
electricity and running water, you bomb their utilities, and then you say, love me, I'm going to bring you electricity and running water. Not this year, but next
What's up,
year,
Jolly, man?
whenever. Okay. So, whenever. The plutocracy in this country also operates on the assumption that the public treasury is
2011.
at its disposal.
Yeah, bro, like that shit.
So while you have a ruling class propaganda that
I
says
remember been learning about that
government
shit
is
since
the
high
cause of
school,
all
bro.
your
Like, how do you have
problems,
soldiers with like
stop
snipe
running
at
to
little
government
kids,
for a handout,
like for fun?
do self-reliance. It's the free market that
It's
gives
like
you your
literally not a new
prosperity.
thing.
While you have them saying that, these same people are going to government, going to the public treasury, and they're pulling out billions of dollars in equity subsidies, loan guarantees, export subsidies, research and development assistance, production loss compensations, tax write. If mom and pop go out of business, they don't get bailouts. They don't get bailouts from the federal government. But if Chrysler threatens to go out of business, what happens? Uncle Sam comes with hundreds of millions of dollars to help him out. Tax write-offs, grants and aids. Hundreds of billions of dollars every year go from the U.S. taxpayer to the Fortune 500. To them that have shall be given.
And that's what all the AI corporations
Them
are
that
wanting
have
to
not
do now,
shall be
bro, because
taken,
they
even what
know
little
that AI
they
bubble's
have.
gonna burst, and they're
And the
depending on the
plutocrats
government to
operate
bail
on the
them out, bro.
assumption that the rest of us should learn to stand on our own feet and stop running to the government.
This is literally just a parallel, like right now, and this shit's 2004.
Plutocracy also does not look with favor on the public sector. If you develop a public sector of services or one of production, which we're not allowed to do in this country, the government can't go directly into market production. It's just simply not allowed. I mean, there are laws against all that. Well, but building public housing, building public health services, you are creating jobs, you're creating tax base, you get revenue back, you're creating services, you're answering human needs, and these plutocrats aren't making a penny on it.
Shout out, boy, living life with a 30
That's like
more,
Tony
thank
Soprano
you.
finding out all these new restaurants have opened up right in his neighborhood, and he doesn't get any take on it. And so they hate the public sector. The public sector demonstrates that you can actually have
Just sub with Prime.
human needs
Fund
taken care
Israel,
of, human
fuck the
production,
US.
all that sort of
Amen,
thing,
bro.
human services, and these guys don't make a penny. And so the goal is to privatize this entire public sector, because then we get our take. And their take makes Tony Soprano look like a piker, right? What does he deal with? Thousands of dollars. We're talking about millions and billions of dollars here. The plutocrats are also good,
Have I watched that?
like Tony is. They're good at
I don't think I
dealing with
have.
and roughing up and beating up on those who can't defend
I'm still
themselves.
listening, but I have to pee. I'll be
The
back.
low income, the disabled. I'll tell you someone else there, something else they're good at beating up on that can't defend itself. That's the environment. The environment can't defend itself. We have to defend it. And they're really good at it. They're really good. They see the environment. They see whatever natural resources are left. They see that as they have a right to whatever those natural resources are there. They have a right to get it and use them as they want, when they want it, to maximize profit, quick cash profits and the like. Another device they have is deficit spending. This is how the plutocracy uses our otherwise democratic government in the most undemocratic ways. It's a myth. It's a myth that right-wingers are fiscal conservatives. No one's a bigger, wilder spender than the reactionaries who are in power now. Ronald Reagan tripled the national debt from $800 billion to $2.3 trillion by the time he got out. George Bush added an additional $2 trillion to to the national debt. Clinton reduced the debt somewhat and actually produced a surplus in his last 2 budgets. No deficit. What is a deficit? A deficit is when the government spends more money than it takes in revenues. How can it do that? It does that by borrowing from people who have lots of money. Rich creditors, banks, financial institutions, and the like, floating government bonds. The national debt is the accumulation of these yearly deficits. Deficits and debts accomplish several things for rich conservatives. First, the debt is a source of safe investment and income for the creditor class. The bonds, those U.S. bonds you buy, you have the full faith and credit of the federal government behind them. It's a safe investment. And yet one of the things with people with billions of dollars is, what do they do with it? What do I put it into? Where can I put it, you know? That it'll be safe, or that it'll make me a return, like. The second thing is that deficits and debts represent an upward redistribution of income from the millions who work to the rich investors. Because what happens is these investors lend billions of dollars every year to the U.S. government, and we, the people, the taxpayers, have to pay them back at interest that accumulates and accumulates and accumulates and grows. So we're borrowing from the people. The U.S. government is borrowing from the people who they should be taxing. Instead, they cut their taxes, and then they borrow money from them that we then have to pay them. So more and more of our federal budget is being privatized. That's the third function of debt and deficit. That in effect, you're privatizing the federal budget. A larger chunk of it is going every year to pay off rich creditors. Not for schools, not for hospitals, not for education, not for environmental protection, not for the Forest Service, not for rural electrification, not for housing, blah, blah. No, it's going to pay off rich creditors. The larger the debt, the larger the portion of your tax dollars that goes to the creditors. And fourth, finally, these huge deficits, $500 billion in George W. Bush's budget this year, $500 billion. These huge deficits become an excuse to cut the public sector services. We can't afford all these other silly luxury things like aid to disabled children. Right? Our governor right here, Muscles, didn't he just do that? His first act as governor of California was to cut the program to disabled children. We just, oh, I'm sorry, but we just have to do it. Well, through much of history, then, the leaders of capitalist state have been concerned with 3 things. First, to extract surplus value from the labor of the people, extract wealth, all the things I've just been saying, from the many, putting it in the coffers of the few. This whole process I'm describing, loan guarantees, export subsidies, well, it's all part of capital accumulation. Second function of the state is to protect that entire system of accumulation and upward redistribution. Keep the entire system of class control and class exploitation intact, suppress resistance and dissident elements, and when that becomes too difficult, then grant concessions, incorporate changes into a new synthesis that helps the overall capitalist system to remain intact, but with a slightly more equitable distribution of wages and wealth. That's not class oppression, that's called class struggle, when people fight back and they make certain gains, and the guys at the top say, whoa, this is really getting hot, we better give in on this, better give in on that. The second function, though, the systemic function of systemically maintaining this system of expropriation, is achieved with symbolic manipulation, informational control. I have water here already. police state repression, control of the law and the courts and other auxiliary institutions. There's a third function that the capitalist state has, and this is the one I find very interesting because I think it's really being overlooked by the reactionaries who are in power today. They're called conservatives. I don't get it. Why? A conservative, if someone is someone who does not want any kind of change because he doesn't want any infringement on his powers and his privileges. These guys want change all over the place. They call them reforms, but they want rollbacks. They're changing everything. They want to get rid of Social Security. They want to get rid of environmental controls, the Clean Air Act, the Fresh Air. He's undermining the wetlands bills. He's undermining through executive orders, through reinterpretations. He's going at it one way or the other. They're rolling it all back. They learned from the Newt Gingrich days that if you try to do it in all one fell swoop, a Republican revolution, wipe it all out, yay, that can backfire. And even among your own Republicans, there are people who say, whoa, wait a minute, I like fresh air, clean air. And Gingrich had that happen. He had these ranchers writing in and said, what are you doing to the environment, you crazy jackass? So now what they do it is by peace, 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 peace. But they're reactionaries, that's what they are. And these reactionaries have forgotten the third function. And that is, the third function of the capitalist state is to protect the owning class from itself, to protect it from its own avarice, to see that the parasite doesn't destroy the very organism upon which it battens. The capitalist state must keep the capitalist class from devouring itself. And we see that was happening with Enron, WorldCom, Halliburton, Harkin. The activist element of the investor class literally expropriating not only taxpayers and workers, but other investors. So, hey, why worry about producing cars and refrigerators? Then you got to worry about trying to sell them and this and that and make a profit. Let's just go where the money is. Just tap into streams of money. Let's go. Who has money? Investors, pension funds, 401ks, all this stuff. Let's go and steal money from them. And they have been caught plundering investor income, billions of dollars. Many of these investors, of course, are small investors too, life pensions and all that. And this is a real crime. I mean, this is really now being looked at. And some of these guys are going to have to do hours of community service. I mean, I'm getting really tough here. Boy.
Good shit, Leonis.
I mean, you think I'm kidding. Look at Argentina. Do you remember what happened in Argentina a few years ago? I mean, I thought there was a case of the failure of the capitalist state to protect itself against capitalism. All of the people's pensions and monies and funds and everything, Argentina, this investor class went in there and stole. You don't understand, you're dealing with people who are insatiable. You're dealing with people who are absolutely ruthless. We are dealing with addicts. It's not true that coke or heroin is the worst addiction in America, or cigarettes or alcohol. The worst addiction, the most crippling, the most damaging addiction is wealth. These people are just out of control. They just want more and more and more. And they're not unlike the ruling classes of all history. If the ruling classes of all history have ever wanted anything, there's only one thing they've ever wanted, and that's everything. They want all the lands, all the choice crops, all the herds, all the rich mineral deposits. They want control of all the labor, all the markets. They want all the civilities and comforts and luxuries of civil society while paying none of the costs. They want everything. And then when they got everything, they want still more. They want gold chalices to drink out of. They want $1,000 bills to light their cigars. They want, of course, the ruling class has learned since the days of the robber baron, they're not as crass and crude about it. But they are just as ruthless in their dedication to this accumulation. And I think that might be the crucial difference between the Democrats and the Republicans. That is, the Democrats are a capitalist party. They will tell you that. They're not so, they're capitalists. But they are different in that they do see this third function as important, that the state does have to occasionally rein in the avarice of the ruling class. So capital, the other thing that capital has to do is it needs to continually expand, and now on a global level. Ownership of the world's water supplies is next. A source of investment, ownership, and profit. A source of creating scarcity. A source of creating a new private market and more profits. Get people to work harder and harder so they have to pay a large chunk of their modest incomes for water. For water. So corporate capitalism moves restlessly into all corners of the world, destroying happy communities in the Philippines, in the Amazon, in Africa, in the United States for fast buck plunder. In the Philippines, you have these free business zones. They'll go into islands and communities where people have orchards and groves and fish and plant and have been living there for who knows how many centuries and living a good life, and they come in, drive these people off the land with these phony deeds, and then just harvest all the timber that's there. In tropical areas can't survive, that kind of thing. It turns it into a wasteland, worse for the ecology, worse for the air, worse for that. These people are driven off into the shanty towns, and there you got the free market, transnational corporate free market doing its thing, pursuing its profits, and destroying human lives, human communities, ways of life, and the environment. So this empire is not an end in itself. This empire, I wrote a book called Against Empire, and when it came out a few years ago, people said, empire? Well, parent, boy, you really, boy, overstating it again. But I noticed that you got people from the Hoover Institute. You got people from the Hoover Institute who are writing books called Empire. You've got these right-wing pundits who overpopulate our media, are all of them talking about, we're an empire, and we ought to get used to it and face up to it, and we got to start acting like an empire, and we got to maintain our credibility as an empire, and all this. Well, what is this empire for? This empire is not an end in itself. It's an instrument, as the Roman Empire was, as the British Empire was, as the Spanish Empire was. It's an instrument for extracting and grabbing wealth. It's an instrument of imperialism. So Max Weber was a bourgeois, conservative social theorist.
I mean, even George Lucas said that the empire was literally based off of the U.S.
He wrote this in about 1912. The question is, how are freedom and democracy in the long run at all possible under the domination of highly developed capitalism? That question, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, that question is still with us. How to defend and advance a political economic democracy in the face of corporate economic domination. Well, there exists not only class oppression, but class struggle. The many have been fighting back. Democracy is a wonderful invention by the people of history to protect themselves from the oppressions and impoverishment caused by wealth and by the abuses of wealth. But democracy is more than just its electoral and representational procedures. It has a substance and a content. Oh, they'll give you the procedures. We can have elections for dog catcher, elections for president, elections for this, elections for assembly, elections for school board, elections all over the place. But democracy's got to be something more than just government of the people. It's got to be government for the people, for their needs, for their socio-economic well-being, for it to be a real democracy. And today's rulers keep the appearance of democracy while undoing the substance and subverting the substance, while undoing the economic gains that we have won over the past century. And then when the people try to organize and resist this rollback, then they launch attacks against our very democratic rights. That when we try to protect our standard of living, our economic democracy, they then and to do that, we use our political democracy. They then attack our political democracy and our political rights. Or George Bush summed it up in his inimitable way. He said, it sure would be a lot easier to govern if it was a dictatorship. And that's what they seem to be moving toward. Well, don't think for a moment that our reactionary rulers don't care what we think. That is their most important concern. Oh, do they care? Oh, are they watching? Oh, do they try to keep us convinced of their lies? They're trying to get in our heads all the time, getting into our heads. They're trying to close our mouths all the time, to wave the flag in our faces, to manipulate and pretend, to keep the boys and girls fighting and dying in some land which most of those kids couldn't have even found on a map last year. To some extent, ladies and gentlemen, to some extent, all regimes, all governments ultimately rest on public opinion. And when that opinion shifts and when support declines, then those rulers have to backpedal. They have to hide their arrogance. They have to pretend that they share our outrage and our concerns, and they're as concerned as any of you, I swear. And to keep that pretense credible, they have to take actions and make concessions that they don't want to make at all. And that's what we've got to do. We've got to keep pressuring, agitating, getting our opinion out there at two levels. One, horizontally, building our base wider and wider, and two, impacting vertically upon them and letting them know how we feel and what we feel. When the people are ready to lead, the leaders will eventually follow. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Thank you, Michael Parenti.
Dude, he's goated.
We've just heard the,
He comes back for more?
program of this General Assembly brought to you by the Unitarian Universalists for a Just Economic Community. We've had several thousand people attend our programs at this GA and hear some of the most informed people in our nation speak to you. This is the labor of a small organization with one staff person run by volunteers. An organization that has helped create the Statement of Conscience on Economic Globalization and its Consequences, that has brought a Workers' Bill of Rights and other statements of conscience over the years, and has tried to give you congregations curriculum so that they can study. Yes, there will be a question and answer period, I've been reminded, with Michael.
Does a
Just
Q&A?
a few moments. There will be time, Michael. Be sure of that. We have led the efforts
The self-made man.
educate UUs about economic globalization, and have taken people and organized people to go down to Miami to the FTAA. We have taken people to Mexico to see the effects on human beings of economic globalization, corporate globalization.
That's crazy, bro. It's like
And we
a
need
decades.
to have your support
Not
to
even
continue
decades.
this work.
Fucking
You will find on your
centuries-long struggle.
chairs either a
Like it's,
call with a pink cover that's got an application for membership,
We're still
or this
living in it.
brochure. And we would urge and ask you to please help support UUs for a Just Economic Community at this critical time. You've just heard how critical it is. And it's
Yeah.
going to get even worse, unfortunately, as the empire continues its deeds of death
is
and
still like
destruction
super
and
young compared to
exploitation.
other modes of production,
So now
bro.
we'll go to Michael for questions. Thank you very much.
And even in its
There's a
infancy stage,
microphone
like the amount
here
of like
in the
damage it's
center.
caused to like
You gonna test?
That's what I was going to say. There's a
insane.
microphone here. If you can line up, we can record your question for possible broadcast. Thank you.
I wonder if you could talk a little bit about the role of the...
That's it. We won't have time for too many more after that, I think. Yeah, right.
I wonder if you could talk about the role of the defense industry in transferring wealth from the public sector to the private sector.
You just did it. That's what its goal is. Defense spending is marvelous. I mean, if you're a military contractor, look what you got. You have non-competitive bidding, most cases. So the price I name is the price the government gives me. You have a predetermined market, a guaranteed market. Unlike the auto manufacturer, he's got to go out and worry about selling his cars, those ecological disasters known as cars, or refrigerator or TVs. You got to sell them. This guy's got it already. It's already bought before he's even making them. The Pentagon's going to take every one of these planes, every one of these things. You get research and development from the government. You get equity. McDonald, I mean, it's multi-billion-dollar. You know, they built a factory. What they'll tell you, oh, we invested $10 million in, and we made $1 million a year profit, 10%. They didn't tell you, they didn't tell you that in fact the real capital. No, they'll say the thing. I forget it. I don't want to give you that example because I'd have to start making up the figures. But I mean, the Pentagon will give them the land and the factory, and pay for almost all the research and development. So McDonnell Aircraft or whoever, McDouglas, what am I? What? Boeing, all of them, all the pigs. Yeah, right. They're really getting so incredibly subsidized. There's nothing like it. The other thing that defense spending has, it's got a built-in obsolescence. You know, it's infinite. I mean, how prepared is preparedness? I mean, when are you fully prepared? Now we find out that the $450 billion we're spending every year on the military doesn't cover wars. Oh no, that's the peacetime military. What? That's for, pension funds and stuff, maneuvers and stuff. But they need I forgot what I was going to say. Okay. They need extra billions for the wars. That's exactly what happened with Iraq. They've gone and spent an extra $100 billion now to fight the wars. Something to look forward to. Your tax dollars at work, your future tax dollars at work, not just the ones now, but the ones later. Yes, Ms.
I'm also a member of WILF, Women's International League for Peace and Freedom.
Wait, could I just add one last thing to that? The function then is, as far as the question of the privatization of the economy with defense spending, it's the most it's the biggest stream, the most profitable source of government contracts and profit, corporate profit. That's what defense spending is. That's why it's so untouchable. Not because it keeps you safe and all that. It's because it keeps them super rich. Yeah.
Okay, I am a member of WILF, Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, and one of our very big projects
I think it's a good organization.
Challenging corporate abuses, corporate power, and abolishing corporate personhood. They are persons, but they're psychopaths. I will happily give you a flyer. Are you a member of WILF?
I've given talks at WILF organizations, but no, I'm not a member of WILF. I thought it was women only. Yeah.
All right. Yes, my name is Strider. Adam Smith was the founding philosophical father of capitalism, and in 1759, in Moral Sentiments, he wrote, "The purpose of government is to protect wealth. Its very end is to defend the rich against the poor." The next, prior to him, was John Locke, who said, "Anything not being exploited for profit is wasteland." and is therefore the property of anyone who wants to go and take it from those who are not properly exploiting it. What we have in the last 50 years is the very conscious creation of scarcity. It happened with the Mining Act in the 19th century and with the railroads' theft of 150 million acres and now the airwaves and the water. But it used to be just a natural concomitant. Now it is very...
You guys always stop him. Why is that?
It's class oppression, and I would like to speak about that. I've worked all my life, and I'd like to speak for another 15 seconds.
Go ahead.
All right. The theft of the commons of the whole world has been absolutely conscious policy for the last 50 years to create scarcity. Could you address that as being a known and conscious policy right now? Thank you.
Yeah, I dealt with some of that in the very opening part of my... Are you listening?
Yes. Yes.
I dealt with some of that in the opening part of my talk. I noticed you came in late and you may have missed that. But we did talk about the function of land and labor and how these things are expropriated. And you gave some a very telling quote by Adam Smith and some good information on that. And it's not just the last 50 years, but of course in the last 50 years the process has intensified and is becoming more in crisis and more telling and more costly, to the point where the whole planet's ecology is now at risk.
Thank you.
One of the insidious strengths of capitalism is that many of us do very well, even though we start from very poor origins, such as Bill Gates or Rush Limbaugh. Could you talk about that?
Bill Gates started from poor
origins? He wasn't.
His father's a billionaire.
Okay, well, others do, though.
Well, I don't know what the point is. The point is that there are people who make great fortunes. Yeah, that's true. Generally in an advanced, mature capitalist society, making a great fortune is a rare exception. Bill Gates, I mean, you can name him on one or two hands. The surest way to gain wealth in a capitalist society is to have the foresight, the resourcefulness, and the intelligence and creativity to pick the right parents at birth. That really is the best way. There's very little really transporting from one class to another. I mean, you might go, my father was a blue-collar Italian-American worker in New York, and I was a street kid in New York City, and I didn't go to college after high school, not for a while. I worked and all that. Okay, so I was lucky because I was at a certain stage where the economy was expanding, universities were expanding, there was a stipend, a fellowship. I don't see that, though. I don't see that I don't see it as a manifestation of the beneficence of capitalism, one. I don't see it as a demonstration of the individual greatness and accomplishment of this present person. I'm a self-made man. That's baloney. There's no such thing as a self-made man. I wouldn't have been able to go anywhere if it wasn't for generations of people whose names I don't even know, who fought for the principle of public education. That's how I went to school, because I got public education. And that was true. I went to City College of New York. And even when I went to Yale for my PhD, it was on stipends and fellowships, because there were people who fought for having stipends and fellowships for needy students. Those are all socialist principles. Those are all socialist reasons. So rather than saying, yeah, my pop was poor and all, and look at me today, unemployed academic, eh? I call myself a recovering academic. I've been kicked out of some of the best universities in America for my political activities. Okay. Look, I meant to tell the people, we have, what, 20, how much time is left? Oh, till 4:30. Oh, there was a gentleman who sat down who was ahead of you guys. If you want to, he should come back up here. Come on up. Then. And I'm going to sign books. My copies of my book, The Assassination of Julius Caesar, The People's History of Ancient Rome, are out there. If you want a read, if you really, I mean, I loved writing that book. It's the only book I ever wrote where I was unhappy when I finished it. I wanted to keep going. It's a fascinating period. It's really a fascinating time. Those Romans really knew how to do it. I mean, it was really pretty obvious. I mean, the killings, the this, the that, lots of sex and violence in the book. So, but mostly what I discovered is that ancient history is not so ancient and that there are very compelling and intriguing parallels. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm the spouse of a Chilean refugee who, for the last 25 years, has every day probably given me this theoretical framework that you presented nice and succinctly today of the capitalist society and that we're an empire.
Well, I would say the first month or two, consider yourself lucky, but every day for the last 20 years, Mom,
yes,
I mean, that's...
I'm saying that on purpose.
Oh, okay.
There's a degree of depression.
Well, thanks for staying for the whole talk. I thought you would have gotten up and run out, yeah.
There's a degree of depression and hopelessness because of that. Is there something in history that gives you hope in terms of the class struggle against the capitalist society?
Well, yeah, I mean, gains have been won. I mean, even in our own time, very important gains have been won. Don't forget, in 1900, the U.S. was a third world nation, half a century before the term was invented. We had mass unemployment, mass poverty. We had diphtheria and tuberculosis epidemics in the cities. We had child labor, children in factories working 12-hour days, 7 days a week. We had, to say nothing's changed, it's always the same, it isn't quite right. I mean, sometimes the struggle does replicate itself, but at a different level. We had the worst and earliest form of class oppression in this society. That's called slavery, which was abolished. Slavery still exists. There's about 27 million men, women, and children who are being held in peonage or debt bondage or outright servitude. You folks should not get online. We're not going to. We only got about 10 minutes more, so I don't think it's going to happen. But so I would say, yeah, yeah. Sometimes some things get worse, but other things do get better, and the people have made important democratic gains, and we mustn't forget that, and we mustn't lose those gains. Their goal is to get us back to 1900. If they, in their heart of hearts, they want us back to an America where there was no labor unions, no public services to speak of, no public protections and consumer protections, none of that. They wanted it where they had it all, and we were just the peons who lined up begging for jobs and working 60, 70-hour weeks. So things have gotten better to that extent.
I'm a beneficiary of the New Deal rescuing public education in New York.
Lenin.
And I was able to attend CCNY tuition-free because of B+ average on the Regents examinations. And then the GI Bill of Rights got me to get my bachelor's and my master's degree and start a family. And I think it's the best investment the government ever made. But my question is, Benito Mussolini was quoted in Harper's Magazine as saying, redefining fascism as corporatism, the merger of government and corporations. Do you think we're on that track?
Well, Mussolini's corporatism was more than the merger of corporations and state. The corporate, it meant the incorporation of the entire population. There were corporate components, workers, peasants, middle class, and all. It's another whole thing. That's a playing around with the term. Fascism is a false revolution. We use the term fascism to mean Pinochet, oppressors, right-wingers who support the state. But fascism was a particular invention.
I still can't really wrap my head around the meaning of...
That's a playing around with the term. Fascism is a false revolution. We use the term fascism to mean Pinochet, oppressors, right-wingers who support the state. But fascism was a particular invention of the ruling class. It projects a false populism. It projects a mass populism. And in that sense, you're getting some of that from this class today. They project this false populism that we're for you folks. It's these liberal elites who try to run everything. It's these latte-sipping hoity-toits, and we're for you regular folk here, you know. And George Bush gets up and he says, Americans, I heard his ad on TV, he said, Americans are hard-working people. He just gets his Texas accent gets thicker, and we're out there and we're doing it, you know. So they try to affect, because they know that a lot of people don't vote the issues. They vote against their own interests. They vote their values. And they say, we're the guys you want. We're the church-going ones. We're the ones who believe in marriage and the sanctity of marriage. Rush Limbaugh, he loves marriage. He just got his third divorce. He's going to get married a fourth time. He loves marriage. He believes in marriage. He's going to keep doing it until he gets it right, you know. I mean, they're the biggest hypocrites. They're no more pristine in their personal lives than we are. But this is the hypocritical veneer they put out there. You know, George Bush never read a book in his life. They like him for that. That's what they, you know, they don't quite say that, but regular guy and all that sort of thing. So in that sense, they do make mass appeals in order, and they do conjure up irrelevant enemies. They say the people who are doing this to you are the immigrants, or the
shit, bro.
Or the liberals, the media elites. What a joke! They own the media, and the like. And that's what Hitler did. That's what fascism was. It's a way of mobilizing and misdirecting mass sentiment, and with a revolutionary aura. You're saying we need a revolution, but you give them a false revolution. There's no change in the class structure except downward. You destroy labor unions. That when Hitler came in, he cut wages in half, by half. I mean, the conditions for the Germans went from bad to worse. Increased military spending, privatized things. Does any of this sound familiar? And he conjured up these irrelevant enemies, saying it was the trade unionists, the communists, the Jews, the Jewish bankers. You know, they put in a little bit of anti-capitalism, but they were the Jewish bankers, not the bankers. And behind all this were the Jews and the communists and that like. So that's what fascism is. It's not just dictatorship. It's a manipulation. And Mussolini did the same thing. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for
that's
a chance
fucking
to
crazy,
get a word
bro.
and just really appreciate what you've said today. I just wondered if you'd speak to the whole issue of the atom. You know, Einstein spoke his words about everything changing but our way of thinking and what the outlook is, and how this has been surrounded by both secrecy and also a lot of psychological denial. I mean, you know, we don't want to think about it, but it is.
Think about what? The atom?
The whole issue of atomic weapons and the military and what they're now up to. I mean, it's like the Cold War.
Elections and economic battles will never tear down a system like this. But not many people are willing to put their bodies on the line and step out of their comfort.
Well, that's part of the empire's plan to become so totally invincible. And you do that by controlling war from outer space.
And the thing that actually, I always go back to this example because when I watched a documentary on it, I'm just like, damn, like that.
Well, that's
that like militant shit that the Black Panther Party did, where they just police their own neighborhoods, like legally as well, and that actually worked. Like that struck the fear in them, bro. Like they were literally deemed like the what is it? Like the most dangerous threat to the nation's national security. Not the KKK that's going around lynching people, and not like these neo-Nazi groups like the Black Panther Party doing that, like putting the police in check. That's crazy. And like gun reform wasn't put because of like, oh, like to keep people safe or whatever. It was literally just used to disarm minorities, to stop them from doing that. So like imagine if people had the right to do that and like police their neighborhoods today, now that ICE is going in and like snatching people up, it would probably drastically reduce the amount of like, you know, they would think twice about that shit happening. But now the difference is that like, because that shit was happening in like in California, but like now legally like you can't do that. You're not allowed to like open carry and shit like that. At least I think you can, but it's like a bunch of mental gymnastics. Like it's hella nerfed now. So it's like they literally patched that. You know what I mean?
Part of the empire's plan to become so totally invincible, and you do that by controlling war from outer space, by building ultimate weapons, the ultimate weapons, and they're using weapons. They use them in against Serbia and in Kosovo, depleted uranium.
What was the question this guy gave?
I just wondered if you'd speak to the whole issue of the atom.
I don't listen to Suicide Boys.
Spoke his words
Sorry,
about
bro.
everything changing but our way of thinking and what the outlook is, and how this has been surrounded by both secrecy and also a lot of psychological denial. I mean, you know, we don't want to think about it, but it
Think
is
about what? The atom?
The whole issue of atomic weapons and the military and what they're now up to. I mean, it's like the Cold War is all on again as far as this administration goes. What do you think of what's happening that way?
Well, that's part of the empire's plan to become so totally invincible, and you do that by controlling war from outer space, by building ultimate weapons, the ultimate weapons.
ISIS in Charlotte right now doing raids, which is crazy. What border is here? Also, the amount of people that carry here is crazy. I think it's like 50% plus. Yeah, I think. Yeah, bro. A part of me feels like, I don't know. I don't want to get too conspiracy. I don't know.
What do you think of what's happening that way?
Well, that's part of the empire's plan to become so totally invincible.
I think that you guys could let me know if this is like a correct path of thinking, but we all know that like the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are like, you know, good cop, bad cop routine. They share the same interests, funded by the same, you know, funded by capital and everything. Would it be crazy to think that like, of course, like the Democratic Party appeasing to like liberals and like, you know, the Republican Party to conservatives, that like it's almost like a psyop to slowly get, because of course when fascism's arising, it would be like the liberals would be you know, the people that would want to be like against that, right? Like you see people now like, oh, like they're calling Donald Trump a fascist, blah blah blah, this fascist administration, and it's like the Democrats are like calling them that when it's like, you know, they're both fascist. But I think it almost feels, this might sound conspiracy, but like it feels like they were prepping for that to happen, but also having like a very very right-wing gun culture for the right wing and the Republicans, and then a very like disarming and like anti-gun culture for like the liberals and the people that would be more on the progressive anti-fascist side, like slowly, so that when shit hits the fan, the people that would be in support of the fascist government are armed ones, and the people that are, yeah, Democrats aren't left, but I'm saying like they're left of Republicans. So now the majority of people who would be like what people see as the left when they're not left, they're still liberals. are like disarmed. So it's like it almost feels like the gun culture was almost like fabricated in a way to have people who would be against the fascist government disarmed, while people who are for a fascist government to be armed. So that now, like now when shit hits the fan, the people that are against it are not armed, and the people that are for it are armed. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a far-fetched of an idea. Yeah, that's like, that was like my thought process behind it. But of course, you know, liberals aren't left, Democrats aren't left. But they pose themselves to be the opposing force to fascism when they're really just the moderate wing of fascism. But what I'm trying to say is it almost feels like it was like manufactured for them to be disarmed.
And you do that by controlling war from outer space.
Because the real left is really small.
The ultimate weapons, and they're using weapons.
Democrats and liberals think they could reform this bullshit, and I think that's by design. Like they're taught to think that they can, so that they pose no actual real threat. You know what I mean? Like it's by design.
They use them in
What's up, Wiener?
against Serbia.
It's all about control, yeah.
Kosovo, depleted uranium, horrible effect. They use them in the Gulf.
They gain trust of the working class by talking about things for their interests, so that the working class isn't organized into something against capitalism. And then behind the scenes, the Republicans and Democrats both money the interests of fascism, and once the rich get their way and fascism comes, they will throw the working class under the bus. Yeah. So now what we have are like the right wingers in support of fascism that are armed, and then the liberals that are performatively against fascism wanting to reform their way out of it, and they're disarmed and anti-gun. You know what I mean? And I feel like that was like, it almost feels like that was like decades in the making to like manufacture that type of culture split in them. I think it almost feels like that was like intentional, so that anyone who would be anti-fascist is now disarmed. Like, is that a crazy thought? Is that a crazy thought to like have? I feel like it was by design, you know? Yeah. That has to do with hippie culture, right? And hippies are like rich, white, suburban kids. The current debates in holy shit, identity politics are just manufactured in the same way anyway, yeah, to divide people. But I really think of like that gun culture like split, and I really feel like that shit is like manufactured over decades. Like it's like, I think that was like purposely done, you know? Like I'm thinking about it, like it makes perfect sense. Like that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Now that shit hits the fan, everyone that's supposedly against fascism is disarmed, and like everyone that's gonna support the fascist government is armed. I feel like that was by design. Like that was like decades of, what is it, like manufacturing consent.
Weapons, the ultimate weapons, and they're using weapons. They use them in against
Yeah, you can't. Oh well, though they well, as of like a couple months ago, like they were literally saying that they want to look into like finding a way to like ban transgender people from owning weapons. You know, like that's crazy. Like now they're just being open with it. But if you think like they couldn't just be like, okay, like legally right wingers could own guns, and if you're left leaning, like it's illegal for you to own a gun. Like they can't just do that, you know? So I think they had to like over time inject that type of like, you know, like Democrats, you tell your audience that like no guns, whatever, anti-gun. Republicans, tell your audience like, you know, like pro-gun over time, and then now it's like anyone that's going to be like supposedly anti-fascist is disarmed.
Yeah, and in Kosovo, depleted uranium.
I feel like
horrible effect. They used them in the Gulf War in '91, and they're using them again now in Iraq. Depleted uranium weapons. They are developing new nuclear weapons.
Martin Luther King Jr. Yeah.
Yeah, what their values are. All their money, all their inventiveness, all their science goes into what?
The white liberals are foxes.
Destruction. What is it? Well, think of all the other things. Name the great military, governmental leaders that gave us all. They didn't do it. It came from the people. Everything else came from the people. Everything else. You want to name it? Conservation, public education.
The peaceful aspect of it, and they still killed them, bro.
Women's rights,
that's the thing.
Civil rights, civil liberties. All that came from ordinary people fighting and agitating. These guys up there never offered or came up with one of those things at all. Their job was to resist those things, ignore them, try to repress them, and then finally make grudging concessions.
Dude, I really feel like that gun thing was just like a psyop to like slowly disarm.
Like myself and
because they can't just, you know, put a law like, oh, if you're registered as a Republican, like you can only, like, you know, they can't do that. You know, everyone would be like, what the fuck? So they had to slowly like coerce these two paths of like gun culture and anti-gun culture, and which is more likely to support a fascist government, bro. I feel like it was a psychological like it was manufactured. So when shit hits the fan,
of course,
the people that would be opposed to are disarmed.
Because we are still working, you know, a working.
Like it's too perfect.
Even if we're working at a nice job.
That's scary as fuck too, bro.
What are we? Are we the oppressors or are we the oppressed? Where do we stand?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I really don't. I don't understand that question. Of course we're oppressed. Yeah, so people live well. You can live well. It's not the class you come from, and it's the class you identify with, and it's the values you want to pursue. And those values are being destroyed and violated. Do you want a clean and livable environment? Then you're one of the oppressed, because those guys are sticking it up you one side and back down the other. Every time you go out there and take a breath of air, you're the oppressed, okay? Do you want clean and edible food that's not full with pesticides and everything else? Then you're one of the oppressed. Do you want to work like a dog all the time and not have time to recreation or live in a community where there's some civility and safety? If you want the latter, then you're the oppressed, of course. Of course we're oppressed. Now, that doesn't mean oppressed does not necessarily mean you're just sitting on a corner with a cup in your hand. There are all sorts of forms, and so this is not. We're not here just to help the
I need to like really
unfortunates
tap into the Black
who are
Panthers,
lower
bro.
in the income
Think about it,
scale
bro. If
than
they were
us,
really
we're
deemed
here also to fight for our own interests.
the most dangerous threat to national security, they were doing something right, you know.
I was interested, you talked about government
Just
deficits or ballooning government deficits as a tool
Just look
for
to where they
creating,
oppose.
Safe investments in terms of treasury bills, a larger treasury debt. I wonder if you could speak to the fact that a lot of
the Black Panther Party in the U.S.
government could
Well, full
default
faith
to.
and credit, you know.
Yeah.
They
The
were
fact
like a
lot,
a revolutionary
I think the
group
majority of U.S. government bonds are held in other countries.
in the United
a
States.
Huge proportion in China. So I'm curious about that, how you see that in the framework you're talking about.
Well, that there are ruling class elements all over
The only good thing to take from this is the worse the system gets, the better chance for revolution. Yeah. But the thing, like, we also have to be locked in, you know, because, like, the worse it gets also, like, people are gonna, like, you know, people might just also fall for the fascist propaganda to, like, feel like just, like, I don't know. We need to, like, massively lock in and, like, educate ourselves, you know, and educate people around us. Because then it's just gonna be, like, a vacuum, like a power vacuum to see, like, yeah. What's up, Flash Webs?
world. It's internationalized, yeah. Or with deficit trade, a lot of that could be just a way of making up the deficit, that these countries will take these dollars, you know, in exchange.
Yeah, China's
They don't take bonds. They take U.S. dollars. They get reserves of immense reserves of dollars. Are you sure bonds?
Hold up. This was a good video, bro. Thanks for sending me this one.
We are literally a week behind. We're 2 weeks behind. But
good news, everyone. This isn't actually.
Oh, dude, wait, what? I used to follow this guy. Why am I not following this guy?
True, and if you happen to believe it, you need to try and adopt a more dialectical way of thinking. History is not linear. You don't do one thing before another thing can happen.
Oh, I've seen this video.
There is no human essence or a teleology of man's self-realization through history. The notion that everyone must first change their consciousness before revolution can occur is just not how history works. Class consciousness is the awareness that class must be overcome. And Marx identifies that for class consciousness to be produced on a mass scale, the class must already be in revolt. Now, at first glance, this seems counterintuitive. How can the class already be in revolt if it's not yet changed the idea about
Yeah, bro was only 21. That's crazy, bro.
itself and decided to have a revolution? But this way of thinking...
I need to tap into that because I'm not too knowledgeable of, like, the whole everything that happened. But I just know of some of the shit they did, and it's like they were really doing shit, bro.
Is the result of philosophical idealism and theoretical humanism that has infected communist theory. Revolution doesn't emerge because individual humans change their ideas and make decisions about things. The contradictions inherent in the material conditions of class society produce both conflict and ideas. The class responds to these contradictions as they unfold, and in this interaction new conflicts and new ideas emerge. All of this is overdetermined, meaning multiple forces and processes are constantly colliding and transforming one another, generating new tensions and new understandings in an ongoing mutual development. It is not one thing followed by another, it is everything happening at once.
Yeah, bro, when I try to, like, find videos about shit, like, I try to be very careful and scroll through, because I'm just like, you know, I don't know what type of bias there is.
The class does not first change its ideas and then decides to act. It exists within an overdetermined social reality and reacts to its lived conditions. In this reaction, new consciousness and new forms of conflict emerge together. When the class rises against the conditions of its existence through social rebellion, it brings its position as a class into question. It acts as a class against class society, and within that movement, the possibility of class consciousness developing on a mass scale appears. This consciousness transforms social rebellion, negating its earlier forms and producing new, more advanced phases of struggle.
It was a setup made by the police to get him killed, and they sent them there, and they gunned him down in his bed. Jesus, bro. That's crazy. Shout out Yuko.
Each phase gives rise to new forms of consciousness, which in turn
killed another person in the process. He was drugged and they raided his apartment. Dude.
Shapes the struggle again. Revolution and consciousness are not sequential, they are over-determined. They arise from the interaction of multiple contradictions within the social totality, none of which alone is decisive, but all of which combine to produce rupture. Class consciousness does not precede revolt. It is produced by revolt and becomes the process through which revolt transforms itself, generating new conditions and new awareness in continuous movement. Class consciousness does not precede revolt. It is produced by revolt and becomes the process through which revolt transforms it.
That's like that Cuban Revolution shit, bro. Fidel and Che went on like the island with like 12 dudes and they just won the the hearts of the people, and people joined their shit from what they were doing,
generating new conditions.
And then they actually did that shit. People like joined their movement.
What is necessary is for communists to be prepared to intervene politically within that spontaneous social rebellion to help push this process.
I literally just finished watching that movie today.
Waiting for every worker to become class conscious before revolution is both pointless and organized.
That's why Che got killed by the CIA. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. What's it called? I watched Che 2008 part 1. He's the face of the revolution, bro. Also, I low-key watched the Motorcycle Diaries before watching Che. It's not like a I watched it almost as like a prequel. But yeah, that Motorcycle Diaries movie, like it's an actual, he has an actual diary. I haven't read it, but I watched the movie. And yeah, it's him traveling. It's like he's like 23 and he's pretty privileged, like, you know, he's like upper middle class. Like he comes from like a well-off family. He has like he's going to school, he's got a degree and everything, and he travels all across Latin America, and he sees like all the poverty and shit, and it really like that's the shit that radicalizes him. It's crazy because he really could have just like lived like a fucking like a privileged life and everything, being a doctor and everything, but he's like, hell no, he really did that shit for the love of the game, bro. And he didn't even hold like a government position in Cuba for a long time. He deadass just left. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go do more revolution. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's GOAT status, bro. Shout out Big Ash with those 7 bars. Thank you. That's crazy.
Bigashi just subbed with Prime. Hi, cheeky smiley face.
And like, bro, be a little bit lighthearted about this too, but even in like the picture before his execution, he's fucking mogging them too, bro. Like, bro, this is like even in defeat, like he still has that. Bro, this is the type of shit that you'll see like in a Blackpool edit where they put mogged over this dude's eyes, bro. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, bro's GOAT status. What's up, Ridge? That was a good video, bro. That was good. I want to watch more, because every time I look up Michael Frenzy, he just has a shit ton of speeches and talks. His last words are tough as hell. He said, shoot me, pussy, you're only gonna kill a man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Bro, goat. You know they glaze him in Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker? This shit. El Che.
So I hear Amanda mistook you for Che Guevara, Snake. That's not too bad, huh?
Yeah, right. I'm not even worthy of polishing his boots.
Don't be so modest. From where I'm standing, your men see you as a great man.
As great as
And it's not just like a little like, you know, like it's like multiple like they have like they're talking about him for a minute.
his most complete human being.
That's Sartre, right? Well, there's hardly been a more iconic figure of his times than Che.
Oh, he was more than that. He was a true revolutionary and a great warrior.
I'm with you there. Can you believe that when he first went to Cuba with Fidel,
Like
they had only 12 guys with them?
But they rallied. They brought in new recruits, won the support of the peasants, expanded their organization.
And in the end, they overthrew the Batista regime.
And US propaganda will tell you that, oh, we need to restore democracy. Like back to what? Back to the Batista regime,
Won the
bro?
support of the peasants,
Like it's
expanded
all
their organization.
it's crazy.
And in the end, they overthrew the Batista regime.
People flocked to them because they were honest. They won because they were strong.
My history teacher used to yap about how much he hated Che Guevara shirts. Dude, my history teacher had a flag of Che Guevara's face on the classroom, bro. And my homies would always be like, Che Guevara! But we low-key like didn't know who the fuck he was. But we just thought he looked cool.
Those are the qualities that make men great.
You know, we're kind of in the same boat they were back then. Here we are, a handful of mercenaries taking on an army backed by the United States.
Yeah, we've got a long way to go.
Now sanctioned embargo under 13 countries. Yeah, bruh. That's crazy. They're strangling it. They're strangling someone and pointing at them and being like, you see, they can't breathe, bro. They can't breathe. It's because you're fucking strangling them.
But we've got to keep on going. It's not just about winning in battle. You need to think about recruiting people and growing this operation.
Got it.
Boss,
I was googling about him one time and it was just shit about him being a butcher, mass murderer, homophobe, racist. That's what, and in the same breath they'll tell you it was better under the Batista regime, huh? Like it's really insane. No, actually, let me find this one video. What's the video I showed? Which one? Che Guevara interview. I saw this crazy ass. I was watching this yesterday. It was an interview. And it was like, dude was charismatic as hell. I get the appeal now. Yeah, most murderers are. Would not say that many of USA presidents have been. Actually, no. They didn't kill anyone personally. Che did. Well, Hitler didn't kill anyone personally either. So he was no mass murderer. Comparing Hitler with USA presidents is nonsense. Comparing Castro Che with Hitler is right on the spot. Dude, I'm going to bed, bro. Like what? Like what? It's like this is unironic. Like this person's being for real. Comparing Hitler and USA presidents is nonsense. Comparing Castro and Che with Hitler is right on the spot. Like, bro. They overthrew the Batista. But,
Senor Bendela? Probably.
What is he hoping
that's crazy.
¿Qué va a hablar? ¿De qué?
Del tiempo.
Ah.
USA is the most evil country ever, by the way. I was reading their recent anti-communism USA. the recent what is the shit that they put out? This shit. This was recent. I think this was last week. Anti-communism week. More than 100 million lives have been taken by regimes that sought to erase freedom, faith, suppress freedom, destroy prosperity, and earn through hard work, violating the God-given rights and dignity of those. Bro, like this is, dude, like this is crazy. Like this is crazy. I wonder, yeah, bro. I wonder what the USA-backed dictatorships were doing. They definitely weren't doing any of that, huh? Like. You could literally just inspect element this shit and just replace this with capitalism. And then it would work. Like it's not even just like the propaganda, it's like a self-tell. Like it's literally just like it's like this shit is like Among Us, bro. Like literally Among Us. It's like the imposter being like, he did it! He did it! Like, bruh, this is literally what it feels like. It's like so backwards. Like, bruh, that's crazy. Democracy for who, bro? For the fucking US corporations to go in and just take all their shit. It's actually insane. It's actually insane. African leaders they've assassinated. They literally openly said they want to do it to what's his name? Ibrahim Traore? Traore? They literally openly said they want to do that right now, bruh. And then I'm sick, like I always think like, bro, it's working. Like I see more people getting radicalized, like we're locking in, and then I'll get like a normie post that has like 700,000 likes, and then like I'll look at the comments and it's just like everyone praising Kamala Harris, and just like, dude, I'm just like, bro, come on, bro. Comments praising Kamala Harris, and the comments have like 20,000 likes. Come on, bro. And yeah, and then there's the other side. Bro, the rich and powerful and elite own the 1%. They're 1% of the population, and they own the media, and they give us so much propaganda, and they own everything. They're buying up everything. And I know who it is. It's the Jews. It's like, oh my fucking god, bro. Come on, bro. Bro falling for 90-year-old propaganda. Like, yeah, bro. Your Jewish neighbor that like works at a bakery definitely is secretly running the entire fucking world, bro. What's up, Seven Isaac? Came in mid-speech and bro, wholly out of context. The hashtag noticing, I know, bruh. It's actually crazy. And like a lot, like people are just dumb. Like I'm dumb, but like that's like dumb, bro. That's like dumb as fuck. How do you come to that conclusion? Like that's like dumb. And I saw this video. It was the video game that red-pilled gamers nearly 25 years ago. I was like, wait, what do you mean?
But why stoop to terrorism?
I wanted absolute power.
But you're the president. You have power.
No, I'm just a figurehead.
Huh?
I don't have any control. The real power is in the Patriots' hands.
The Patriots?
The truth behind this country. I'm not surprised you've never heard of them. Very few are aware of their existence.
And any logical person would come to a conclusion and be like, oh yeah, this is kind of just like, you know, the capitalist class, like the ruling class, the ruling elite that own, you know. And then this dude's like, the Patriots are Jews, by the way, in case anyone, like, bro, dude. People are just smoking fucking meth, bro. Like, how do you come to this conclusion? Just change the Patriots to Jews. Yo, like, we did not just like, how are people turning Metal Gear Solid into like neo-Nazi shit? Like what? 2,000 likes, 1,000 likes, bro, on these comments.
Even among those with code word clearance.
Huh?
Politics, the military, the economy.
World's 85 richest people is equal to the 3.5 billion poorest people.
It's fantastic. And this is a great thing.
Have I ever evicted a single mother out of one of my properties? Oh yes, on multiple occasions.
There'll be all sorts of things that I would have wanted as a kid that I couldn't have, right?
Have you seen that
Sky TV?
Have you seen that recent interview with the guy in New York? That recent one?
My friend.
Hold up, I'll find it. It was like, do you feel like your ambition is worth someone losing their home, a family losing their home? And he was like, yes, it's not my fault you're a bro.
Do you feel like your ambition is worth another family losing their home?
Yes, that is the game of capitalism. Okay? You have to know how to play in order to win. It's not my fault that you're a loser.
That feels really mean.
Life's cruel, man. Nature is cruel, and this is the system we've built. Everyone seems to be enjoying the fruits of it.
How do you feel sucking off the poor?
As I try to explain, we don't suck off the poor. The poor suck off us.
Yo, we locking in, bro. We locking in, bro. Dude, these are so hard. But yeah, bro, that's fucking crazy. They're like proud of it too, bro. They're like proud of that shit too. Talking about like, have I ever evicted a single mom out of one of my properties? Oh yes.
Taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Bro, I'm gonna make an alt account, start making propaganda.
To such extent that you bleach.
What? Yo, hello FBI? I'm trying to like the video. What's up? What's happening? Look, it's taking it away. It's taking it away. No.
The texture of
Look. They're watching, bruh. Bro, if a manifesto downloads onto my computer, that shit is not mine, bro. That shit is not mine.
your hair.
What the fuck? Why is it taking away my like?
The color of your skin to such extent that you bleach.
Alright, well, I'm gonna have to favorite it. that gonna work? Alright, we're good. That's crazy, bro. What the hell? What do we tap into next? What should we watch next? I wanna end every stream with like a talk like that, or like a speech, or like a lecture, or like a book reading or something. Something like that. Buddha.
Je me retrouve un peu comme un cycliste qui grimpe une pente raide et qui a à gauche, à droite des précipices.
There's so much I want to like tap in and learn. Like I want to learn this. Like,
alors pour
it's
rester
taking away my
moi-même,
life,
pour me
man.
sentir moi-même, je suis obligé de continuer dans cette lancée-là.
I look, you want to like learn it like in order.
Pour le reste, l'histoire me jugera et me définira. Thomas Sankara.
There is no order, not order, but like in a structure that'll be like easy for me to like be able to connect it with each other, you know? Like reading like timeline. The funny shit at the start of the stream, yeah, that was in the beginning. I guess you could say like a timeline to see like how they connect and shit, and how they like when these revolutions started and how they supported each other or whatever like that. I feel like, I don't know. I think it's easier for me to like see things as like my brain to see things as like a video game. Like reading the theory is like studying the game mechanics. And then studying the history is like studying like the lore. You know what I mean? Socialism for All? Oh yeah, I watch him. I was watching his video in the shower about the AI bubble. It was a recent one. Basic study plan? Bet, let's tap in. Old Reddit, holy shit. I'm gonna bookmark this.
Hey, good morning.
Predictive history. I watched this guy too. Black shirts and reds is good for deconstructing propaganda and setting a foundation. Yeah, I want to get that one. I'll probably read that one. Actually, there's a video that like they turned it into like a documentary. I was watching it. I'll probably watch it on stream next time. Part 1. I'll probably watch this as like a precursor before reading it. There's a part 1 and part 2. I think I'll probably watch both of these on stream, and then as like an intro, and then read the book. All right, guys, I'm gonna end stream now. I really have to fucking piss too. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do something like that. Like at the end of every stream, like I'll play games, have fun in the beginning, whatever, and then before we end, we'll like have like an hour set to like. Something like that. Alright. Good night, guys. Love you guys. Thank you guys for coming. Hope you guys enjoyed. I need to go to bed now because it's 12 a.m. I actually need to go to bed. I can't ruin the sleep schedule. Alright, good night, guys. Peace. Bye. Peace. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Don't look at my fucking hot sauce that's on my desk.